All right, guys. So in this video, we're going to be talking a lot about the 3 characteristics when I'm recruiting, what I look for in potential candidates. So a lot of people, in my opinion, make the mistake when they are hiring an SDR to focus on resume. They look at the past. What have they done? What have they accomplished? What are they going to be? Isn't necessarily in alignment with what they've done. As a guy who's built and trained salespeople for over 10 years, one of the biggest things I've learned in this process is to hire people based off of attributes, traits, and ultimately specific questions I'm going to ask to understand where someone's going more than what they've done. A lot of times, the people with the most impressive resumes tend to be people who you end up having to unteach more bad habits than you can actually instill in those people from scratch. So for me, let me break down, here are the 3 characteristics I look for in somebody that I'm going to hire for an SDR. Okay, so number 1 thing I'm looking for somebody who has thick skin. Okay, so what I mean by thick skin is somebody who can take a high volume of rejection. An SDR role is a role that, in theory, is the hardest sales role that you'll ever have. And it's hard not because it's complicated in what we'll ask you to do, but it's hard because the type of sales you'll be doing. You'll be dealing with a high volume of rejection. You'll be dealing with a high volume of negative interactions. And there's a lot of failure that goes into a day, a week, and a month in an SDR role. And so if you're somebody who gets discouraged easily, or they lose focus of what their why is, then you'll likely struggle as an SDR, or in general, most sales roles. So one of the biggest attributes we look for is somebody who has thick skin. But thick skin is not just in regards to the role you're going to do as an SDR. Thick skin is actually also aligned with how we coach people here at my organization. So whether you're coming into work in my organization, or whether you're considering using our strategy to build out who you're looking for, I'm a firm believer in coaching people the way they need to be coached, not the way they think they want to be coached. Most people want to be told something, but need to be told something different. We're a firm believer in mentoring, coaching, and developing. And I'm a firm believer as a guy who, whether you can tell or not, I like to go to the gym. I like to lift weights. I'm in a goal right now to add a few pounds of muscle right now. And what I know, to add muscle, I first have to break the muscle down, let it recover, and then through time, it'll build back up. And then you do that time and time and time again. And I employ the same strategy with my SDR candidates, with my entry-level employees, and with my employees overall. Because if I am going to develop you to be able to maximize your fullest potential, I need you to be able to take tough coaching when it's time for you to get tough coaching. And by all means, not every interaction with me is going to be tough coaching, but I need you to know you can't take it personal. You can't get super emotional. You need to be able to take the tough coaching. So thick skin applies both to the job of sales, but also the type of coaching we do here in this organization. Okay, number 2 attribute. I look for somebody who has a student mentality. I look for somebody who I believe is going to be passionate about what I'm having them do. So I have a team of people who do marketing for me. If you don't love marketing and want to learn more about marketing when you're not working, you're probably not passionate enough about it. If you're an AI developer and you don't love learning more about all the advancements happening in AI, you probably don't love it enough. You're probably not passionate enough about it. For me, when I'm done with my long day, with my long week, and I'm going to decompress, I'm probably pulling up social media and watching other influencers talk about coaching, developing, closing, selling, everything I do in my job. I still love it so much that I digest it when I'm not working. I look for somebody who has a similar level of curiosity, a similar level of hunger to get better, and somebody who truly has a real why and is going to ask questions every single day from their leadership team to be able to fulfill their goals. Okay, so number 1, thick skin. Number 2, student mentality. And number 3 is self-awareness. Self-awareness allows you as the employee to be able to know what you're good at, what you're weak at, and be able to work with your leadership team when you have a student mentality and when you have the ability to take tough coaching to be able to close those gaps. But so often, people aren't willing to be honest with themselves and in turn can never be honest with their coaches on what they truly need help with. And that level of transparency with yourself, that level of awareness with yourself on what you're strong at, what you're weak on, and how you need to close those gaps to fulfill your truest potential is the biggest differentiator on where people maximize and fulfill their potential or where they fall short. So once again, just to recap, 3 characteristics when I'm recruiting and I'm looking for a sales rep, an SDR, I don't go to the resume. I go to these 3 things: thick skin, student mentality, and self-awareness. I hope you have those things.